Order. Question number 7, Sue Moroney.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. My question is to the Minister for Social Development. Will she agree to establish a cross-party task force to address the rates of child abuse and domestic violence in New Zealand, as described in the People's Report, the People's Inquiry into Addressing Child Abuse and Domestic Violence?
Honourable Paula Bennett.
Mr Speaker, no. We are 95 days out from a general election, and setting up a cross-party task force now would simply all be about politics.
Supplementary.
Order. Order. Supplementary question, Sue Moroney.
Well, talking about playing politics then,
Order.
does she recall that Labour, when in government, did set up a multi-party working group on family violence, and every party participated except the National Party, who withdrew from the group in September 2006 and were invited to rejoin in August 2007, but declined, and that was quite some time before an election, Minister.
And what a waste of time that was. It did nothing. So effectively, your little cross-party task force did nothing to actually better the lives of the people that are living in with domestic violence. So you prove your point that your cross-party task force was ineffective and inefficient.
That's right.
Supplementary.
Order. Order. Supplementary question, Sue Moroney.
Why did it take an individual businessman to initiate a report into our horrific rates of child abuse and domestic violence, rather than the national government stepping up and taking some responsibility?
How ridiculous.
Order. Honourable Paula Bennett.
Mr Speaker, so actually this government has done many reports, many reviews. I can point to the Children's Action Plan as a first one, where we did a white paper. We then went out and did the most extensive, actually 10,000 submissions to that, where we travelled up and down the country making sure that we got people to actually address to it. The fact that Sir Owen Glenn has chosen to do this is actually a good thing if that's what he wants to do. We take it seriously, we're interested in the outcomes of it, and we'll go forward from there.
Supplementary.
Order. Supplementary question, Sue Moroney.
Can the Minister still claim that addressing domestic violence is a priority?
Order. Order. I'm having trouble hearing the question. I invite the member to start again.
Can the Minister still claim that addressing domestic violence is a priority when, under National, the Task Force on Sexual Violence was shelved, the Advocates for Children and Young People who Witness Family Violence were scrapped, Te Tirito Collaborative Community Family Violence Prevention Fund was canned, and the Family Violence Education Services were disestablished?
Honourable Paula Bennett.
And isn't this the difference? That is all about the adults that pontificate to each other, talk about what they want to do. None of it is about what's actually happening in a house and the services that need to really happen. So it's all about the next task force, the next report, the next kind of talking to each other that Labour would have us do, where it's actually about services on the ground that are able to address. I point to Whānau Ora. I point to the Children's Action Plan. I point to the work on drug and alcohol abuse that's going through health and through the justice system. Those are things that will make a difference.
Who's this member? Who's this member?
Supplementary, Mr Speaker.
Order. Supplementary
Thank you,
question,
Mr
Carol
Speaker.
Beaumont.
What action will she take to ensure women's refuges can meet increasing demand from victims of domestic violence, given they are struggling to respond in the face of real cuts in baseline funding?
Mr Speaker,
Honourable Paula
Women's
Bennett.
Refuge have millions more dollars a year now than they did under Labour.
Order. Order. Question number 8. Order. Order. Yes, that is the end of that question. I'm calling question number 8. Jan Logie, question number 8.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. And my question is also to the Minister of Social Development and asks, will she support a child